So yeah, I think all of you would be interested that a lot of things happening within the world of AI and how it is impacting, or what's the value in that, specifically around the fleet management for trucking industry. Right? How would it help? Uh, what are the value add in that? Is it still worth to explore? And all of those questions, we would try to work in a way that's easy enough to understand, and we give some light around it, what it means, and what it will be value add for you and your team. So I would share a small presentation, go over it, and we'll talk about that. We have the comment section. You could certainly put a question if you would like to ask, and put an interest there, so I can respond it back, or perhaps later we could come back and talk to you back around that. So yep, that's what we're gonna be running. We got a short 30 minutes. We wanna make sure we bring the utmost value add for your time, where it explains where we stand today in that, how to take that journey, and how it will suit your team and for yourself. So I would go ahead and share my screen, and we would get started from there. Wonderful. So again, my name is Ram Upadhyay. I'm the CEO for Fleetrabbit. It's a fleet management solution specifically driven by the generative AI. Again, the talk of this year, including the OpenAI and the ChatGPT. So how that whole thing comes together for the fleet industry to support, what kind of value add it has, and we'll go over on that. So it's just a casual talk around that. If you have any questions in your mind, we would highly encourage you put it in the chat. Then we can talk about that. So in the agenda, we would just do a brief introduction of what it means. We define some goals, as a takeaway for you, or you could evaluate, and then we'll deep dive a bit on the AI and document management, and a bit of enabler for that, how data integration plays a role in that to enable it, and the summary of the presentation. So the first thing comes, generally we, in our fleet industry, we have a back office administration teams who ensure all the paperwork is aligned, kind of getting a lot of information from the front end people, drivers, operators, and communicating back information for them. It might be the driving license, drug test, insurance, registration, or the other compliance document. Every 6 months, service records, inspection records. So pretty much whole information around the fleet, the trucks, that need to be communicated back to the operators, drivers, and the information coming back from them on the routine basis. And teams do a great job, they could receive over the emails, through the PDFs, sometimes the standard paperwork, through the pictures. And it takes a good amount of effort to align that information, put it together, and present it. And that is where we bring the value of that, okay, could AI be a bit of a help here to offset our team members and just help them along? And that's what we're going to be talking today. So it's a super exciting topic. In the holiday month, I hope that you gain some insight around it and, be more informed on that. So those are the 4 key values that we generally seen, talking to some of the people in industry who are really deeply engaged in the paperwork management, administration, the fleet managers. Right? The speed of the document processing is a critical component. That's something, a transformative stage, that information flow between the operators and the back office teams, the field staff and the team. Could it significantly be improved, where, rather than weeks or at a month on, we have a summaries, they could happen in few hours. And then while achieving that, we definitely reduce the manual effort. Because, as a team, we are doing wonderful today to do what we could do. But if the tech could help offset that, and that's where together this could speed up the document process. It then comes around the accuracy and efficiency of document. Right? How are we going to make sure that on top of our manual reviews and effort, if tech could help do that to a greater degree, so our team members are more enabled to do better work in a faster manner. So pretty much around those 4 topics would be the value add of a typical level of AI engagement in your teams. Now, let's take a look on that. This is in one example. We could easily connect with all of the operator drivers. They once in a while or in the flow of years, some of them will not renew their driving license. There might be some changes around their driving license. Now they have to communicate back to the back office. So those license information can be recorded, updated to their file, can be maintained for the compliance. There are means to do that. One could attach a picture, send it to over the email, or do it in the different ways. That information manually has to be verified that yes, there are no additional restrictions, nothing has changed, what's the expiration date. And that is where the generative AI has done a significant improvement. This driving license could be uploaded using a mobile app. For example, Fleetrabbit, our product, extends that. A driver operator could take a picture of their new license, and as soon as it gets uploaded, that's it. In the back end, the AI agent kicks in. You're gonna read through this entire document. We'll figure it out. What's the expiration date? Are there any restrictions? Have any material detail changed in the license? And update that over the file. And that all thing gonna happen in a matter of split seconds or in a minute. So if you have like few hundred or few thousand fleets, seeing these kind of just this information flow is actually could be transformed real fast and much more efficiently. And at the end of the summarization, it could, let your administrative team know, hey, these are all the people who uploaded their license today. They all seems compliant. We have updated. These are the dates. So kind of, uplifting the effort on your team members. If I get a email processed by the system, hey, these are the 30 licenses, collectively all our team members updated in this week, they all have been updated back to the file, and here are the summary details on them. That's the value add generative AI brings today. It was in the background, but it really helped your team to be on top of the job. If we take another example, same like, the routine drug test that DOT requires or other compliance part. I make a visit to a nearby, drug test facility, which is, and, receive the paperwork. Now the paperwork will have a fine details in it. It would have certain comments, notes, how the sample being processed. So that information is even more detailed. I as a person would put more deeper eyes on that, check it manually, there are no flags in it, and then update it to the driver profile. Now how generative AI transforms it? Again, if you have that PDF document or through the site, or you just take a picture of that physical piece of paper. And once that picture is taken, it is processed immediately. The back end is kind of compiling that, reading the entire document. So that's the most valuable thing. The rest could be done in the prior generation too. But what's valuable now? that it can read the document as a human being reads. Go step by step, identify what's the value add in it, summarize it, and put it on the file. So that's a beautiful part. Generally, uh, writing it as a human being, understanding the information as a human being, and then updating is what a crucial transformation is achieved with the generative AI. So that's one of really a cool thing. It helps your team members. It kind of ensures that no information is left behind. If there are any issues and flags, it's going to report back to your team, and they could manually review it and see it. But it does take away a lot of manual effort out there. If I look further, again, the roadside citations. This is again one of the common thing. If the driver has been stopped for the certain inspections, checks, there are any citations given to them, that journey becomes quite a bit instant and automotive. I take a picture of the citation, submit it to the Fleetrabbit app, and that's it. The generative AI can go through line by line and make sure what kind of citation it is, what is the violation, any fine details, and just summarize it for you, right? And put it in an email or put it on a SharePoint and share it back to the people who need to, be in the knowledge of it. If you just think back on the today's part, again, there is no other possibility without generative AI summarizing a document as a human being would write a gist of it, what kind of violation it is, what it takes, and putting it on the file wasn't possible before this. But yes, today it is doable. So that's the beauty of generative AI, where your team members really gets a lot more achieved in the day and still not be stressed around it. So kind of empowering them to do more with the use of tech. Now we see on the other side of journey, right? Like back office got insurance done on all the assets, they are updating on the files. Now how they want to communicate back to the drivers, operators who are on the field driving the assets. They want to make sure they have up-to-date information with them. So that part automatically happens. The system automatically pushes it back to the mobile devices. So the mobile app on the truck has the up-to-date insurance information automatically coming from back office and aligning it to them. So rather than loading it to the multiple assets manual ways, the system ensures that information flows smoothly to the driver side. So what we are talking is two ways of communication, right? One is where we talk the data collection from the field, could be a picture taken, could be a paper document, could be a PDF document, coming from the drivers, operators across the country, traveling wherever they are. But the means of tech is giving them to report back information in the simplest way for them. And in the back end, the AI is enabling the processing. So that's just pretty much it around this journey. I just want to take a little pause here just to draw your attention that, if you are having and seeing the value add in the webinar, I'll highly appreciate if you put a comment or two and just share your thoughts. It, as a community, we want to make sure it helps. Whatever your reflection is around it, is this thing is valuable? Should it be used? All kind of. So it's a community collaboration. We want to make sure, as a fleet industry people, we can communicate, collaborate around it. What this thing is doing for us. Is it helpful? Is it gonna do this and that? And just all comments are welcome. If you have specific tech related question, yeah, please put it on, and that's all we are looking for this. So I'm just going to take 30 more seconds to have the opportunity to all of you and reply back on that. Anything else you would like to share your thoughts around it? Of course, we all are well-informed people. We have a different reflection around the use of tech in industry. positives, negative sentiments around it, all appreciated. So with that, I would carry on for a bit more information. Now, this is another deeper workflow area. Generally, the health of the asset, how well it has been routinely inspected, have the plant services been done on the asset, on the truck, machinery. Where are the records of those? And if all of those records are available along the operator and driver in the phone, which is also works offline, that's a greater value add. You have a peace of mind that yes, if ever and whenever it's needed, your operator drivers always have all required information within their phones. So from the backend system, that information of compliance checks, inspections, plant services available in a right order, the driver can easily demonstrate that to the authorities when needed and have the entire trail of information. So this is one of a beautiful achievement where it really helps in terms of value add to them. And with that, I would like to talk about how would you explore such tech, right? As a attendee to the webinar, we would like to thank you and appreciate that your time, and really want to extend our support to you in the journey where you could explore it in the holistic way, where you get opportunity as a partner. We would like to extend that support. And what we do in that, as a holiday month, we are extending a $5,000 credit to all the fleet manager attendees of this webinar. And in the journey, you really get a holding hand from our side to explore. So we do the onboarding, have your team members join, have the base set up for the, putting the trucks on the system, making sure everybody can log in from your side, and then go over the journey of how the AI assisted agent's gonna be used by your team members. So it's quite valuable. It's a good degree of digital knowledge to your team. You are not committing for anything beyond. So it's a win-win for your team members. At least be more digitally aware, knowing about the latest tools. If it is a value add, we could also migrate your existing information. It might be in the piece of paper, Excel, in other systems, but we do that migration easily. And then comes around integrating. For example, you may have fuel cards, GPS, or other enterprise systems, ERPs, or communication systems, Google Workspace, or Microsoft 365. So we integrate all of that information to make a cohesive information flow. And the best part is it is free to use until Feb of 2024. So really it is just a one single sign up, but we are absolutely sure that this is a tech which would help you and your team significantly. So if you would like to explore, get going in this journey that, hey, how this thing works for you, let us figure it out, if it's any value add in that. Let's see how our team members respond to it. Where they talk about it, you would realize that, what's their liking around it. You could gauge the productivity in this 3 months. It's a good enough time to experience all of those phases and have your own ROI that, how such thing could benefit. And if it doesn't, then, you still got a good layer of digital information. You have the awareness, your team knows it. Hey, there are such tools, we explored it. Perhaps not a great time for now, but yes, you got to see that, experience it. So that's all we are offering to all the attendees. And I would say if you put interested in the LinkedIn comment, one of our team member could join back and have interaction with you. So we would love to talk about that. And with that, I would open up for the question answers. I would love to demonstrate the demo, but that demo would require a bit more time where we could demonstrate how a driving license is quickly scanned by the mobile app or a picture is taken, goes back in the back office. The AI system is reading through all and putting it on forefront. Right? So that fun part is we could do with your own information flow. So you first and experience it. Okay, that's a value add from you or my team. So yes, we would love to do set up a one-on-one demo across the tech where you and your team members can be part of that. It typically like 4 to 6 weeks journey where we design that information or we bring it for you and you could see it live. And all of that is part of our this $5,000 credit. So just put it in the chat, interested, or drop a message, and we would be glad to connect back on that. And that's pretty much around it. So with that, I would look like if you have any questions or comment. And I see there's a question that app query will be layout theme session for beginners. Well, thank you, Mohammed, for the question. Yeah, the intent here is more around just giving it 30,000 feet view around the availability of new AI technology and its interjection with the fleet industry, right? At what stage and how it helps. Especially around, it's an opportunity that, one could explore it, be part of it and see how it will work for them. So yeah, this is for valuable for everybody who just feels that this is something will help them. And you kind of, figuring out the ways of, okay, then how do we get started on that? Or what is the minimal risk option where we could explore a bit of it and get a feel around it? Right? So that's some of the options that we would talk here. Anyone else has a question, please put it in the comment. We still got 3 more minutes to talk about it, and I would love to answer back on that. Yep, around the safety and compliance, we have a question. So yes, your data is your own private data. It is not being shared in the public domain. It is always private. It stays in your control. The LLMs or the generative AI is only used to put the language together, right? And when we process those documents, read that information is fully secured and encrypted with the highest level of encryption algorithms. So, and on top of that, we also can create an entire private environment. That means it could be within your own cloud, be it a Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud. So that way the privacy, data safety, that is, we're using the latest components in it, so it stays fully secure and compliant for you. Well, thank you for the question. Well, folks, we have 5 more minutes, and yep, I'm just checking what else. Yes, so there is another question. How do we collectively utilize the integration part? So there again, it's a ready to use integration with your fuel cards, GPS, and what it does, it kind of maintain your entire journey of inspection, maintenance, fuel, all the operational aspects put together. And when such data is available, the AI agent work more flawlessly to assist your team members. To the administrative team members, in beginning, how it works is like they are being extended with the mobile apps and the portals. and they start seeing that, okay, the information coming from the field and they are loading back to the operator drivers. AI is doing a sizable piece of it, and they could review that information where the exceptions are there. There would be exceptions, a small degree, let's say a 5% of the documents and information would still require good manual review. But they could get up to 90% of that work being processed by the AI agents. And they utilize the time where it's needed most. Certain documents need more attention of them. So it flags the value add information automatically for you. So that's a critical value that goes back to your back office administration staff. Right? On the driver operator side, it goes back in a way that all information is available in those mobile apps, fully offline. So at any point, they are in the need of it, they always have handy to them. So that's pretty much around it. I would say to all the attendees, thank you so much. I truly appreciate your time and hope we are able to bring some value add back to you, to your time. Reach us back if you have any other question. And have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.